The Pullman police issued a warning about a man going door to door.
And a CDC recommendation has triggered a Department of Justice court appeal. We'll have more details coming up.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And I'm Jackie Smith. Welcome to Murrow News 8. The Pullman Police Department is warning people about a suspicious person who has been making visits to homes in the Pullman area. The police department says they have received 2 reports of a 25 to 35-year-old male with short black hair going door to door offering a gift and inquiring about the schedules of household members. We spoke to police officer Heidi Lamley about what you should do if you encounter a suspicious person at your door.
If somebody feels like their safety is in jeopardy, I encourage people to call 911. If they are concerned and think that something is suspicious, I would encourage them to contact our non-emergency dispatch number.
The number for non-emergencies is 609-334-0802.
A judge recently ruled that Lori Vallow Daybell is fit to stand trial on the murder of her 2 children. The jury trial has officially been set, but it won't be in eastern Idaho. The defense argued that the jury in Fremont County, where the crimes took place, may be swayed by the extensive media coverage in the area. It will instead take place at the Ada County Courthouse in Boise, according to KSL.com. The 2-month-long jury trial will start on October 11th, according to a notice of trial setting released yesterday.
According to a news release by the City of Pullman Police Department, National Crimes Victims' Right Week begins on Sunday. This year's theme is Rights, Access, Equity for All Victims. The Pullman Police Department said that they are recognizing the work of organizations and advocates that provide resources and support to victims of crime in our local area. This includes Alternatives to Violence of the Palouse, the Crime Victim Service Center of Whitman County, and the Whitman County Prosecutor's Office.
Yesterday, the Department of Justice announced they are filing an appeal to overturn the decision made by a federal judge in Florida to strike down the national mask mandate. Our very own Gillis Williams is in Pullman with the details on how this may affect our local airport. Gillis?
Are they good? Okay. Yes, Riley, so the CDC had recently lengthened the mask mandate to May 3rd after it was initially set to expire this Monday. But the CDC still firmly believes that mask requirements on federal property are necessary to remain public health and safety. But just 2 days ago, the Pullman-Moscow Airport recently dropped their mandate, making face coverings optional for all travelers. Still, the CDC still recommends them, and still, major U.S. airlines are still dropping their mandates for travelers as the winter surge fueled by the Omicron variant has waned in many states. In addition to the local airport, though, Pullman Transit, just like the bus stop behind me right here, dropped their mandate on Monday, and we are still awaiting the decision on whether the Lewiston-Nez Perce Airport will remove their mandate also, as interviewees have not heard back from them. But overall, COVID cases and hospitalizations in the U.S. have seen declines in recent months, but have seen slight rises in certain areas of the country in recent weeks, in some spots like Philadelphia and New York City. But that's all the updates I have for now. Jackie, Riley, back to you guys.
Thanks, Gillis. ASWSU is hosting political speed dating tonight in the Cub. The event, normally held around Valentine's Day, is returning to act as a conversation starter to start some platonic friendships and serving some free food. ASWSU Issues and Forums Chair Jelani Christopher explained that this event won't go into any very heavy topics, but rather stay lighthearted and more fun for participants.
We came to the conclusion that we shouldn't ask anything too controversial at this event, just because we do want it to be fun and we want people to have conversations that they might not have in other places.
Political speed dating will take place tonight in Cub 70F, the back of the reunion on the Cub ground floor. Doors will open at 5:30 and the event will go until 6:45. There are themed baskets that will be given away and free Panda Express.
WSU's Office of Tribal Relations and Institute for Research to Educate and Advance Community Health are teaming up with the Native Governance Center. According to WSU Insider, the three groups are hosting an hour-long Zoom training session called Language Matters: How to Talk to Native Nations. The session will cover opinions on language and terminology regarding Indian country. The training will begin at 1 p.m. next Thursday, and those interested can sign up using the link in the WSU Insider article.
A WSU astronomer is identifying some difficult-to-locate objects in space.
And as the weather warms up, a few outdoor events are returning to the Palouse. Find out which ones coming up next.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
Astronomers at WSU just possibly identified black holes. A new study led by university professor Vivian Baldesser likely found the locations of these black holes with the intent of finding the answer to one question: when and where do medium-sized black holes form?
As the temperatures get higher, it looks like we're warming into market and fair season. The St. John Community Fair and Stock Show begins today in St. John, Washington. It continues into the weekend with many more events. Moscow's Tuesday Community Market is inviting vendors to apply for the market this season. The first market will be June 7th at the Latah County Fairgrounds and Event Center, and then every Tuesday until October. Finally, the Pullman Sunset Art Fest is from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the 30th with food tasting, happy hours, yoga, live music, horse carriage rides, and more.
The annual Spring Pub Crawl is this Saturday from 6 to 11 p.m. Sponsored by the Pullman Chamber and Visitor Center and presented by the Pullman Young Professionals, you can check in at the Lumberyard at 6. Other participating locations include Paradise Creek Brewery, Rico's Pub, My Office Bar and Grill, and Etsy Bravo. For tickets, you can visit the Pullman Young Professionals website.
We got some rain overnight, but I'm hoping the weekend will bring some nice warmer weather. Catherine, can we expect April showers to come to an end yet?
Well, Riley, I do have some good news for you. We can expect some warmer and sunnier weather this weekend, but we're not done with the rain just yet. We did see some of those showers overnight, and we also saw some isolated thunderstorms across eastern and central Washington. Not a whole lot of action here in Pullman. Just remember, when thunder roars, go indoors. Let's take a look at today's forecast. We stayed pretty steady at our high of 49 degrees. We're going to drop down to 33 degrees overnight, but we can expect a little bit more sun tomorrow. We're going to get up to a high of 55 degrees, and we'll drop down to 35 degrees overnight. Let's go ahead and take a look at our conditions across the state today. Over on the west side of the state, highs in the 50s. We got some rain in Seattle and Olympia. And then looking over to central Washington, highs in the 50s and 60s, overcast skies over there. Similar conditions over on the east side, overcast. Spokane got up to 55 degrees. We're just a little bit cooler here in Pullman. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pullman's extended forecast. We can expect dry, sunnier weather going into this weekend, but we will have a chance for some precipitation late Monday into Tuesday. So we're not quite done with those April showers just yet, but it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous weekend here in Pullman. That's all I've got for weather. Back to you at the desk.
Catherine Jones, thank you. Watch for a former Coug who may get drafted to your favorite team.
Find out who after the break.
It feels like no matter where you look, the state of the world's getting worse. Oceans full of plastic, an endless amount of waste, an impossible task ahead of fixing our beloved planet. But change can't happen if you do nothing. So here's where you should start. Reduce. Why? Because Americans produce more than 200 million tons of waste every year, and you don't want to add to that. Reuse. Why? Because reusing and repurposing cuts back on unnecessary waste, and it gives things a chance at new life. Recycle. Why? Because recycling creates jobs. It helps our community and it helps our planet. And after doing all this, what will we be left with? We'll be left with a planet that will slowly start to heal.
I'm Chris Mitchell with your sports. WSU baseball topped Seattle U in a single-game series yesterday, 11-6 in Bellevue. Jack Smith tied his career high with a 4-hit outing, but it was Jacob McKeon who did most of the damage, driving in 4 runs. The Cougs have today off before starting a 3-game set against Oregon from Eugene, where they will look to put an end to the Ducks' 6-game win streak. On to WSU tennis, and they're on their way to the Pac-12 quarterfinals. The Cougs upset the 35th ranked Huskies from that school over in Seattle on a 4-2 margin. Their second head-to-head win in less than a week. WSU is currently facing the UCLA Bruins, the 2 seed in the Pac-12 championships in Ojai, California. And this morning marked the last spring football practice before the annual Crimson and Gray game. The game will take place at 3 p.m. this Saturday at Geza Field. 15 practices and 2 scrimmages in the books. It should be a good time to get out there and check out how the new Wazoo is looking before they move towards summer camp. I know I'll be having special attention towards the trenches. And more on Cougar football, the NFL draft is officially a week away. Former WSU offensive tackle Abraham Lucas is a day 2 hopeful for the draft, with neither ESPN, The Athletic, or CBS Sports having him fall past the beginning of the 3rd round. While Jalen Watson, the former cornerback here on the Palouse, is projected to have early to mid day 3 draft capital, it is less clear what will happen to running back Max Borghi, as he is projected to be an undrafted free agent in most expert mock drafts. That's all I have for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Chris. Well, this week we are celebrating our national parks.
We asked you guys to send in photos visiting them, and we'll take a look after the break.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Queen Elizabeth is celebrating her 96th birthday today. She traveled to the Sandringham estate to celebrate privately with her friends and family. And today isn't the only day the Queen will celebrate. Official birthday celebrations will take place June 2nd, including a military parade. These additional celebrations are a tradition started by the Queen's great-grandfather to celebrate in some nicer weather.
We are currently in the middle of National Parks Week. Every April, national parks are celebrated and people are encouraged to explore amazing places and discover stories of history and culture. Parks across the country are hosting special programs, events, and digital experiences. Check out some of these photos that viewers sent in of them at some national parks.
Well, I think I need to go to national park this summer. It's on. We have a bucket list, so Chris, you can come join us on our bucket list.
I've only been to one, so
which
I need
one?
to get to Acadia. It's in Maine.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/MN8, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a great night.